Imagine you're sitting at your kitchen table and your coffee is growing cold in your hands. You aren't drinking it, you're just watching the steam dissipate into the morning air. Your eyes are fixed on the second hand of the clock as it sweeps toward 10:47 a.m. You've known about this moment for 3 days. You know exactly what's about to happen. You know that in precisely 12 seconds the phone on the counter will vibrate. You know the caller ID will say private number. You know that when you pick up, a voice you recognize will deliver news that will shatter your world. The call comes right on schedule. As you hear the words you've already memorized, you realize you stopped breathing 30 seconds ago. Your body's moving through emotions, your consciousness abandoned long ago. You say, "I understand," because that's what you saw yourself saying. You hang up, you sit back down. This is the reality of foresight. We often imagine it as a superpower, a golden ticket to a perfect life. But in truth, it isn't power. It's a suffocating rehearsal of a life you can no longer escape. It's the end of now and the beginning of a permanent then. Welcome to the prison of certainty. The seductive illusion. The seductive illusion of foresight whispers its promises to us in the quiet moments when life feels most uncertain. We've been chasing this fantasy since the Oracle of Delphi, desperate to tear away the veil between now and next. The temptation feels rational. We think, if I knew I could fix it. You'd know the winning Powerball numbers before they're drawn. $300 million, yours for the taking. You'd see the market crash coming, pull your money out the day before and watch everyone else burn while you profit. You'd dodge the drunk driver at the intersection, avoid the flight that never lands, and sidestep every catastrophe lurking in tomorrow's shadows. Knowledge is power, right? Information is an advantage, but here's where the fantasy starts to crack. True foresight doesn't mean seeing one convenient lottery number, it means seeing everything. It means seeing the boring Tuesdays, the arguments over the dishes, the slow decline of your health, and every goodbye you'll ever say. You don't get to pick and choose. If the veil is gone, it's gone for good, and that's when the seduction curdles into something far more sinister. The free will paradox and temporal imprisonment. To understand the horror of foresight, we have to accept one brutal fact. If the future can be seen, it's already written. In physics, this is called determinism, the idea that if all variables are known, the future is fixed. If you can see what happens at 4:15 p.m. tomorrow, that moment already exists as a coordinate in spacetime, as real as the chair you're sitting on. This is where free will collapses. Imagine watching yourself betray someone you love. You see the words, the damage, the aftermath, and you tell yourself you'll choose differently, but you can't. If you could, you wouldn't have seen it. The vision itself proves the outcome is locked. You're no longer making choices, you're watching them happen from inside your own body. Your knowledge becomes part of the chain that creates the future. You see the mistake because you already saw it. Free will doesn't disappear dramatically. It evaporates quietly. The Cassandra Complex and the death of social connection. Even if you could survive the loss of your free will, you wouldn't survive the isolation. True foresight transforms every relationship into a funeral you're attending before anyone has even died. In Greek mythology, Cassandra was cursed to see the future but never believed it. But the modern version of this curse is worse. Even if people do believe you, you're still alone. Imagine sitting across from your best friend at dinner, they tell a joke. In the real world, you laugh, but in your world, you've already heard the joke. You've already felt the amusement. Worse, you've already seen the argument that ends your friendship 3 months from now. You know the exact words that will sever the bond. You're mourning them while they're still here, grieving a loss that hasn't happened yet, but absolutely will. Your partner kisses you goodnight, and you taste the betrayal that's coming. Not today, not tomorrow, but inevitably. You've watched it unfold frame by frame. Every affectionate moment becomes contaminated with foreknowledge, poisoned by the certain end you cannot prevent. You're experiencing anticipatory grief for every person still living. You become unreachable, trapped behind a wall of terrible knowledge, surrounded by people who exist in your past even as they think they're in your present. Reality isn't a movie you can pause and preview. It's a wave that only becomes solid when you're inside it. If this is already messing with your head, you're in the right place. Subscribe. Breaking the universe. The physics failure. If the psychological toll doesn't break you, the universe itself might. True foresight doesn't just violate philosophy, it threatens the foundations of physics. Start with entropy. Time moves forward because disorder increases. But knowing tomorrow brings future information into the present, creating a loop where effect comes before cause. Quantum mechanics makes it worse. At the smallest scales, reality isn't fixed until it's observed. Particles exist as probabilities, not certainties. Foresight demands certainty in a universe built on chance. By knowing the future, you collapse outcomes before they exist, forcing reality to be solid when it's meant to stay fluid. And then there's the information paradox. If tomorrow's events already exist in your mind today, where did that information come from? Information can't appear from nothing. Something fundamental has broken. You don't just see the future, you become an impossibility, a contradiction reality itself struggles to support. The dopamine trap and the collapse of meaning. The final blow is biological. Our brains are not designed for certainty. We are survival machines evolved to navigate the unknown. Our neural reward system is built around dopamine. Most people think dopamine is about pleasure, but it's actually about prediction error. Your brain releases a flood of it when you encounter a positive outcome that was unexpected. The thrill of the hunt, the joy of a surprise gift, the rush of a risk that pays off, these are all fueled by the maybe. But foresight eliminates the maybe. You know the outcome before you act. Motivation collapses like a demolished building. Why pursue a career when you've already seen the day you get fired? Why ask someone out when you already know their answer? Why write the book, take the chance, or even get out of bed? Every action becomes a hollow pantomime. Your dopamine system simply shuts down. This is why uncertainty isn't a flaw in our existence. It's the engine of everything we are. We find meaning in the gap between effort and outcome. Remove that gap, and you've removed the biological foundation of ambition, curiosity, and hope. You become a living corpse, biologically incapable of caring about your own life. The gift of the fog. The beautiful unknown reveals itself not as an enemy but as the foundation of your humanity. Every morning you wake up without knowing if today brings triumph or tragedy, and that uncertainty, that terrifying, exhilarating gap between now and next is what makes you reach for another person's hand. It's what drives you to create, to risk, and to love, despite knowing nothing is guaranteed. Uncertainty gives weight to your choices. When you cannot see the outcome, every decision becomes genuinely yours. You're not a passenger watching predetermined scenes unfold. You're an author writing a story that doesn't exist until you live it. This is the gift we mistake for a curse. Not knowing protects you from the psychological prison of foresight. It preserves your capacity for hope. The future remains mercifully hidden because obscurity is the only condition under which consciousness can truly flourish. You are alive precisely because tomorrow remains unwritten, unknowable, and yours to discover, one irreplaceable moment at a time. If this video stayed with you, you might like what comes next. Subscribe if you want more ideas that question reality instead of escaping it. Thanks for watching.